Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and at least for me, the long-awaited TV show of the summertime has returned, and that is Queen Sugar. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Y'all, first of all, tell me why it comes on like on Wednesdays, right? Or whatever day. If it's not Wednesday, I apologize. Whatever day it was on, whatever day it comes on, tell me why I sat there. It literally was about to come on. And my body was just like, what you finna do is go to sleep because your allergies are trying to kill you and you need to hope that you can get some sleep tonight. So y'all, I turned it off and went to bed. I was so mad, like really? But anyway, I finally did get a chance to watch it. I'm so excited. It was good. It was really, really good, y'all. So it started out with Nova. She was at this place where they were making her do this recording where she basically does promo for her book. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on, y'all. You know, I'm happy for her on one hand, but yeah, a lot is going on. So Nova is essentially conflicted because the book is about to come out. Her family doesn't even know the book is about to come out. They think it's a couple of months out, but it's really like a couple of weeks out. And they don't even know what's really in the book like that. So that's the first problem, girl. I was just like, girl. And it's like, she's so nervous and all that because she hasn't told her family any of the stuff that's going on. That's how crazy it is. But anyway, y'all. So Charlie is still getting her entire life. Now, if you saw last season, she ended up getting close to this Spanish-speaking man who seems to be pretty good. He has whisked her away and they are both being pampered somewhere, getting massages. And then, you know, they're talking and she was just like, I can't believe that you were able to whisk me away like this. And you could tell she was enjoying herself. Now, it's summertime there, so her son is off visiting with his father. Y'all know, I don't know why, Davis. Yeah, so she has me time outside of her job, which is working at the mill. So, you know, he ended up basically, you know, doing what he needed to do to make the people leave the room who were massaging them. And then he took over and started massaging her and they were talking. And, you know, you can really tell that she is really into him. And it's like, I'm trying to be happy for her on the low because I feel like something else gonna come out of nowhere and bite her in the behind and just mess up the situation. Because every time she starts liking somebody, something pops up out of nowhere. And I'm like, what's gonna pop up with this guy? Please don't let nothing else pop up because she seems really, 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 really into him. So anyway, Hollywood and Vi are out and about somewhere on their honeymoon and they're like at a food market or somewhere outside, and Vi is really looking good. She looks like she's been taking care of herself and getting the much needed rest that she needs because of what's going on with her health-wise. And she is like really over the top and excited, and her husband can't even keep up because she over here talking about how she wants to add other things to the menu. And he was like, you know, this is only supposed to be about burgers and pies. And so she was like, oh, no, I'm adding more stuff than that to the menu. So I'm like, oh, Lord, I just foresee her overdoing it and dying this season, like in all seriousness, because you cannot overdo it when she has lupus, right, y'all? Let me know that in the comment section. But if you have lupus and all that, you cannot work yourself like that. You will die. Like, you will really die. Like, I am not kidding. I know people who have passed away who are overdoing it. Like, you cannot play when it comes to that. You have to get all the rest you can. You need to sit down. I'm just saying. So, I kind of see that might be the direction it'll go in if she doesn't slow down, if other things aren't factors in, you know, that possibly happening. I really hope she doesn't because I like her as a character. Even though she can stand to, you know, change a little bit, but she's older and you know how stubborn older people are to change. So I don't know how that's going to work out. So Ralph Angel is out and about in the fields and he's talking to Prosper. And he has this letter. And I'm like, okay. He was holding on to this letter. He done opened the letter up, and it is a letter letting him know that his probation is over. And, you know, he thought about it. Then eventually he took off running, and then he proceeded to scream in a way that was celebratory of freedom and just happiness. And I was just like, oh, that's amazing. So, you know, that's a small victory. So I'm here for it. I just hope he doesn't get in trouble anymore, because, you know, he actually is quick to anger in a lot of situations. It's like, oh, Lord, sir, please calm down. So, let's see. Hollywood, Vi, Charlie, Ralph Angel, even Blue, all of them were together. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Hollywood decided up there and rallied everybody. He didn't rally everybody around. And then everybody started being handed an umbrella. I said, oh, I know what's about to go down. I got real happy, y'all. They ended up doing a second line. They had a second line going on, y'all. That is one thing that I have always wanted to be a part of. That is one of the few things that I like about Louisiana. Second lines, man. Second line. If you don't know what a second line is, like, I don't know where you been. But it's like a little, you know, parade of sorts where people go and dance happily down the streets and all that stuff. And, you know, you can just tell they have live music. They have, like, people playing horns and, you know, stuff like that. Like, it's amazing. I might not have described that as accurately as I should have been able to, but I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all go look it up. If I didn't explain it right, somebody who is from there or who knows a more elaborate way of describing what a second line is, y'all do that for me down in the comment section. I really greatly do appreciate that. I'm not perfect, but I do appreciate second lines. I really do love them. I like stuff like that. It looks very, very amazing to me. It's something I do want to be a part of someday. So anyway, they were doing the second line. I'm like, okay, what they doing the second line for? So apparently now they were back in the States, meaning, you know, Hollywood and Vi or wherever they were at. They all were together now back in Louisiana, back home, and they did a little short second line, because, you know, Vi can't do the most. She can't do the most unless they were trying to imply that they did it for a little while, but I'm pretty sure they didn't, because, like I said, you have lupus, you can't do all this. You can't overdo it. So they did a second line to her diner, which is called Vi's Prized Pies Diner. I hope I did it right. I hope I said it right. Please let me be the said it right. I hope I did. I think I did. Yeah, Vi's Prized Pies and Diner. Okay. Whew, I thought I did it wrong. But anyway, they finally made it to the destination. And her husband, Vi's husband, Hollywood, was like, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all know how dramatic and over the top he is. Or whatever. Bobby here for it, though. He ended up giving her a crown, and then eventually Ralph Angel gave her a scepter. I was just like, oh, y'all better do that. Make her feel like she the queen. So they ended up having like a little, looked like it was like a soft opening. Hey, everybody, let's congregate and celebrate me opening this type of situation. They had a little pie contest going on in there. People were just in there mingling and just, you know, in the community, just having a good time. And it kind of was, you know, congratulations on your wedding, even though there wasn't nobody there except for like the family and like a handful of other people. But it was kind of like a celebratory situation for her business and her wedding, whether she wanted it to be for both or not. But I'm just saying, I know I would have probably still congratulated her again. And she looks good, so I definitely would have been like, girl, you looking good. But anyway, y'all, a lot of different things were going on at this gathering. This woman rolled up on Charlie with 2 gifts for Vi. And y'all, I don't even want to get into that. Y'all let me know down in the comment section, because I just was like, girl, she had ties to the Landrys because she had some kind of campaign going on, and they were, you know, funneling money into her campaign and all this other stuff, y'all. I just was like, let me turn away from this. I just don't even care. Like, I'm just like, stop. So anyway, Ralph Angel had people rolling up on him because of his status, you know, given the fact that he is someone who used to be in the system for, you know, prison, jail, wherever. I think he was in prison. But anyway, he's been trying to do the second chance stuff with people because he's wanted that, and then now he has the opportunity to give back. This is something that he's been open to do, and he's had people before, and it's about to be that time of the season again. Like, if you're not up on how the field life is, then you would not understand. There are certain times of the year when you got to plow it and all this other stuff. That time of the season is upon them. You don't got, I mean, my daddy used to do the Farmer's Almanac. I don't know why my tongue gets tied and twisted up when I say Farmer's Almanac. Like, I have to be like, let me pause so I can say these words. But anyway, he used to get those religiously every year. My grandmother did as well, which is his mother. Rest in peace. Y'all, it is a whole thing. It is a lot. There's a lot going on. My daddy actually still does gardening. You can laugh if you want to, but people live for the corn. They live for the sweet potatoes. They live for everything that he has in his garden. So yeah, we used to have stuff further up the road on other parts of our land that my other relatives live on, but a lot of that stuff has been dissolved. We used to do big rows of sugar cane in a big plot of land that had sweet potatoes on it. I think up and down the driveway that leads to several of my aunts' homes, the plums and stuff still grow in around this time. And of course, around all of our yards, we still get blackberries or whatever. And we had a pear tree and an apple tree in our backyard. And my mama, she just told me the other day that if she's ever able to move and get another home or whatever, that she was going to have to figure out how she was going to uproot flowers that my father's mother gave her out of her garden a long time ago. Like, there are buds that she's had for forever that every year they do come in and all that. Y'all, it's just a lot. It's making me think of my grandmama. I really miss my grandmother a lot. But anyway, y'all, I'm up on that farm life. I'm here for it, but I'm not, because I like some of the stuff that come out of the yard. Like, I don't like the squash. They can keep that. But I think my daddy does watermelons sometimes, little smaller ones. He sends me a thing of sweet potatoes every year in the mail. And that's like $20 just to send. That's just to send it to me. Sometimes he does it twice a year. So yeah, it's that serious. Like, my family is big up on farming and all that stuff. He does hay. We have different hay fields. Like, y'all, it's just a lot. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to get into the countryside of me, but I really am a country girl. I'm from the rural side, rural parts of Montgomery, Alabama. So anyway, back to the show. I'm sorry, y'all. Back to y'all regularly scheduled program. I'm sorry about that. I had a moment. I had a flashback. It was a good and happy one for me. But anyway, like I said, various things were happening at the party. And the guy was trying to get Ralph Angel to possibly hire this other guy on, and other people who need a second chance as well, because it's harder to try to get a job once people run your background and they looking like, oh no. So yeah, I mean, I get that. So he's kind of looking like, okay, all right. Y'all, some woman rolled up on Nova while she was, you know, trying to help her aunt out and serve people. And she was like, Nova, I have a sister that lives in New York, and she told me that she saw a billboard with you on it, and your book is coming out soon. And then Hollywood, y'all don't understand. Hollywood stay around the corner. Hollywood hear everything. Hollywood be seeing everything. Y'all gonna put some respect on Hollywood now. And I'm here for Hollywood. I'm here for him. I'm so here for Hollywood. But anyway, Hollywood was like, it's like his ears perked up like a dog when he heard that. He was like, what's going on right here? Because like I said earlier, the family was aware that her book is supposed to come out in a couple of months. Nobody knew all this stuff got pushed up or any other information at all. Nobody knows what's really in it and all that. Then the woman proceeds to say, all right, so, you know, give me a few, you know, a little bit, give me a little taste. What's going to be in the book? And it's like, girl, she tried to change the subject and walk off. Man, tell me why. Not too long after that, she came into the kitchen because she needed, you know, something for out there. And Hollywood was like, yeah. Anyway, when was you going to tell us about this book and what's in the book? She didn't even have to say nothing. He already knew that it was going to be some kind of deep, dark secrets. And he was like, look, as many secrets as I know about this family, and it's a whole lot of them, I can only imagine what you put out there for the world to know. And he was like, look, we should be prepared for all this. Your family should know. Your family don't even know about none of this. Your family should know. And I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Hollywood had to set it off. It's sad that somebody who ain't blood related to you had to set it off and let you know, look, you know you're wrong. This is probably going to be some stuff that's going to really dredge up some old stuff that didn't nobody want to talk about, but you done put it out there for the world to know about. And we don't even know what's coming out. We ain't even prepared for it. So you need to let your aunt and your siblings know what it is. What's up? Yeah, it was just too much, y'all. I was just like, Lord have mercy. So anyway, y'all, I don't know if it was the next day or not, but we end up seeing Nova having a dream turn nightmare. And it was her and her siblings as they were actually younger. And then their mama called them in, or at least Nova and Ralph Angel's mama called them in. And she was like, all right, y'all, playtime is over. We got to go in the home. We got to go in the house. Race you to the porch. So they start running, and then Nova trips and falls. But when Nova stands back up, she's looking like her current self, and her siblings are right there, all looking like their current selves, grown, and just looking at her, and she's looking at them. Then you can hear the faint sound of a very familiar alarm that I've heard before on a cell phone. And I'm like, girl, her phone is going off, and her alarm had to wake her up out of her slumber because she was going in. Like she just was tossing and turning. Like, I was just like, girl, this is really too much. So she's finally feeling the guilt even more so than she has before. And she's just looking like, dang, I got to go ahead and tell my folks. So Charlie is, you know, back in, you know, of course, as I told y'all, the whole family is all back together now. So wherever that dude whisked her off to, she's back home now. So she's at her house, and the guy's at her house, and I guess they're having, like, they had breakfast, and she had something that he made to drink. And she's putting everything away, and he was like, you know, so, you know, what's next? What's going on? He wants to know what his place is supposed to be because he doesn't want to assume that they are together like that. And, you know, what's really going to be next because her son isn't there. He hasn't met her. He hasn't met him. And, you know, he kind of made it plain, like, you know, I would like for your son to, you know, I don't know if you're going to ever let your son meet me or whatever. And it's just a lot. And so she was like, you know, every time she talks to him, she's just like, you're just so patient. This is what I love about you. And he's the type of person that when you say key words, he was like, oh, love, huh? It's like he knows when to just jump right in because she'll say a key word and he is on it. So anyway, and so she had to change it to what I appreciate about you because I'm just like, Lord, so are you doing the most? But anyway, you know, it seems as though her son is going to come back soon. And, you know, he was like, well, I don't know what's going on. And so she was like, well, what do you think? You were a summer fling or something? But you could tell that, you know, he's more than that to her. So we'll see where it goes. I don't know. So tell me why Blue is at some like gathering for kids. I don't know if it was a birthday party or what, but you could tell it's an outdoor event for kids. And so Ralph Angel is making him play catch, like teaching him how to play catch with a little football. And y'all know how Blue is. Blue is into playing with dolls. He ain't really trying to play with no football like that. Like, I don't, So he's trying to catch the ball, and he making it seem like it hurt him and all this other stuff. So he told him to go long, and then he tried to catch the ball, and some random little girl caught the ball. She was like, I caught it! And Blue got mad and was like, give me my ball back. So anyway, it was just a situation for no reason. It was like a little kid situation, and the little girl's mother came from out of nowhere. As soon as she rolled up, I was like, watch be what I think it's gonna be. So she was like, please, give the nice young man his ball back or something like that. So anyway, it got to a point where Blue suggested that they go and play somewhere else, do something else or whatever. So she was like, okay. So they left. So Ralph Angel got acquainted with the young woman who is the mother of the little girl. And I already knew that. I don't know if they're going to end up being together or not. And what I did forget to mention was when they were at Vi's little gathering at her diner, Darla showed up with a gift. Because when she showed up, I was like, oh, Lord, girl. You know Vi ain't here for her since she found out what was going on with the paternity results. But they are still trying to be around Blue and all that stuff, even though he's not biologically related to them. They have this arrangement where they have certain days of the week they split time with him. And so eventually it got to a point where she was like, I need to ask you a favor. And he was like, okay. She was like, well, can you, take Blue for an extra day this week? And he was like, okay, sure. So he wanted to know why. So she was like, it's personal. So he finally was able to get out of her why. And I knew it. This heifer got a date. So he was like, oh, you got a date. Okay. I knew it was coming, but okay. So, he basically agreed to do it because he still wants to be a father to Blue. So I'm like, you just don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Last season when all this stuff came out about Blue, I just knew it was going to be his child. But then it came back that it wasn't his child. And I was just like, how dare you? And like a tear came down my eye. Like it came down my cheek, and I was just like, you know what? It was a combination of me being angry and me being upset for him because he really has been a great father. And the reason why he turned around his life was because he found out that he was a father. So he did not want to do the things he'd done before. He was the whole reason why he turned over a whole new leaf and didn't want to be involved with all this crazy activity anymore. So yeah, y'all, I was just like, oh my gosh, like that was last season. That was way too much, y'all. So anyway, Nova, knowing that she's wrong and she should have already told her family what was up, she went to each person one by one, or most of them one by one. First, she popped up on Charlie while she was at work. Charlie was really, really busy. She was gonna go to an event later on, and she was busy at the mill. And so eventually she was like, well, I wanted to catch up with you and go out to lunch. And she was like, oh, I can't do it. I got all this stuff to do today, whatever. So she was like, well, my book is coming out. And, she wanted to give her a manuscript. No, you didn't. Girl, stop. You didn't want to give them nothing. Girl. I feel like before all this is over, Nova is going to have to pack up and go somewhere and change her whole identity because it's just going to be rough. It's going to be rough. If it really come out like I feel like it's going to come out, it's going to be bad. So she ended up giving her a copy of the manuscript. She was like, oh, okay, cool. And y'all know how Charlie is. Charlie gets really, really busy. So I felt like she wasn't going to never read it until after it came out anyway. Cool. So then she ended up going to the diner to give one to Aunt Vi. Now, since, like I told y'all before, Hollywood be peeping everything. Hollywood was around the corner before. Hollywood was all around the diner. I don't know where Vi was. I think Vi might have been, I don't know where she was. I didn't even see her. They made a point to show Hollywood. He was like all around like directed people. He looking like he was doing a lot. So I was like, okay. Nova knew she was wrong. She knew the Hollywood. She know how Hollywood get down. So Hollywood was where he was, directing people and whatever. And she snuck in the back where the office was, and he was still busy. So she politely set a copy of the manuscript on the desk, hoping that her aunt would find it and see it and go on about her business and do whatever she was going to do with it, y'all. Then she ended up, of course, last going to Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel was with Blue at the time, and since he was spending quality time with him, he was a little bit distracted. And she was like, well, you know, I came to see my favorite brother. And so he was like, yeah, I'm your only brother. What you want? What's going on? So she ended up telling him that the book was coming out, and he was like, I'm real proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations or whatever. So she was like, well, you know, you want me to go put the book on your desk or something? He was like, yeah. Because he really was spending quality time with Blue. So she went in the house. She sees a picture of her daddy up on the wall. If I'm not mistaken, that was her daddy. A picture of him when he was younger. And she went and put a copy of the book like on his desk, like kind of on top of the laptop that was there. And y'all, she looked frightened. I was just like, girl, this is too much. I would be like, I don't think I could do this. If you got to do all that shivering and shaking just to deliver it now, just to deliver the book to the people, it's too much. You know it's too much. So, y'all, it gets to a point where Charlie is at this event. It's something about women. Y'all, all kinds of women of different shades of brown, and a few people who are not black people that are there, y'all. Different shades of black and brown, all this stuff. Y'all, they were giving her some kind of award because she, you know, did that meal. And she's a black woman who owns this, you know what I'm saying? She was up in the middle of doing her speech, and this woman stood up. Now, I've seen her before. She was like a reporter or something. And she was like, I have a question for you. And y'all, she was like, I have an advanced copy. I had the pleasure of reading an advanced copy of your sister's book. I thought you said that she was like, do you actually support every woman? And so she was like, what kind of question is that? Yes, what do you mean? So that's what she brought up. Her sister had the book out. She got an advanced copy of it and all the stuff her sister was talking about in it. She brought up how she, you know, paid the woman off who her ex-husband was having an affair with, and just wanted to, you know, see, you know, what was going on with it. Y'all, it completely blindsided her. She immediately went home and started drinking a bottle of wine, and then she started reading that book all night. She sat there and read that whole book all night. So then she got up, well, not even got up. She called Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel was asleep. And so she was like, I need to talk to you. Have you read Nova's book yet? And so he was like, no, not yet. I ain't gotten around to it. So she was like, okay, don't do it. Don't read it yet. Promise me you won't read it until I come and talk to you. I need to talk to you first. She literally was getting into her vehicle and coming over there to see him. So he looking like, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm about to go ahead and look in this book. I don't know what's going on. So he's flipping ahead, trying to see what the problem got to be, because ain't no way you just gonna rush over to my house because of a book that I know how to read. I might have been somebody who went to jail, to prison or whatever, but I do know how to read. So why are you wanting to prevent me from reading this book? Oh Lord, why did she put in this book about how he's not the father of his child and all this stuff? Like, that really pushes his buttons. Like I told y'all, Ralph Angel, he is not all the way there like he needs to be. He can be set off at the drop of a dime. That's why I'm like, okay, he really is gonna have to be on his P's and Q's as far as his probation is concerned, because he can go back again at any time, y'all. I'm just like, oh my gosh, y'all, he had a tear already came down his face. He'd have slammed the book somewhere. I said, oh God, no. Y'all, tell me why Vi sent Hollywood to go get something off the desk. Like, I knew it was going to happen, or he was going to roam in there on his own. And of course, he see the book on the thing. Then he closed the door to make sure that if she coming in, he can hear her when she come in. He can hide it. And he looking through the book, he trying to skim and figure out what's going on. And so as everybody is reading various parts of the book that pertains to them, the part that he read, it was about people lying to themselves, or just lying and keeping secrets and all this other stuff. I said, oh my gosh, y'all, it is just too much. It's too much. I'm telling y'all, she is gonna die. I feel deep down in my soul, Vi is gonna die this season. All this stuff is going on. It is really too much. It is too much to the point where Nova knows it's too much. She done sat up here and went to her father's grave site. I don't know where Ava, I think she probably went to the place that I went. We drove past there. But I mean, there are various places, but it looks exactly like one of the more famous places where people have been buried. And, you know, they have to bury people on top of ground because of the sea level and all that stuff. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's where it was. But she went to her father's grave, and she put a book or a present or something at his grave. And she sat there and she basically prayed to him and was like, I just wanted to talk to you. I hope that you are enjoying yourself up there. I hope there's a lot of light up there and all this other stuff. And then she was just like, I hope that you are okay with me doing this, because a lot of stuff needs to come out that has been messing with her as she's been a child. And she said there have been so many secrets that it's too much, and she feels as though everybody needs to be free. She says she hopes that when all this stuff is finally revealed and put out there, that everybody can be free like he now is, because he is deceased and he's not here anymore, battling the different things that he's had to deal with outside of when he was with Charlie's mama, which, as I mentioned before, Ralph Angel and Nova have a different mother than Charlie. It was just a lot going on while he was here alive. And yeah, he had secrets. Like, that whole family, it's a lot, y'all. And I feel like a lot of the reasons why I like this show, and I understand stuff. I start catching on the stuff like as soon as it's starting to be revealed, is because a lot of that stuff has happened in my family. Like, we have a whole lot of secrets in my family, and it's like, really? Really? And it's like stuff that should have been worked through forever ago, secrets that should not even be going on, stuff that should just be hashed out, and you get through it and move on so people can stop harboring all this hurt and just move on as a family, because we ain't doing nothing but getting older. We ain't doing nothing but getting older. People have been dying off one by one. And some of us rather, have not forgiven and moved forward in a loving way. Some people will lie, say they've forgiven, but they haven't forgiven anything. And they're just harboring anger in their heart and a whole lot of negativity. And that's not cool. So, y'all, I know this is going to be a good season. And like I just said, I relate to so much of this stuff, like the secrets and all this crazy stuff. I get that, because that is my family. A lot of this same stuff happens in my family. Has happened in my family. Y'all, it's a lot. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. I enjoyed watching this. I cannot wait for the rest. I know it ain't going to do nothing but get more and more explosive as it continues to unfold. So anyway, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to y'all later.